Everyone is asking the wrong question. Which jobs will AI replace? Which industries are next? Which skills will still matter in 5 years? Every article, every podcast, every LinkedIn post is asking the same question. But the researchers who have studied this most carefully are asking something different. Not what AI will replace, what AI structurally cannot replace. And why the answer to that second question tells us something more important about the future of work than any list of disappearing jobs ever could. In March 2025, 2 researchers at the MIT Sloan School of Management published a paper that reframed the entire conversation. Isabella, Loaiza, and Roberto Rigobon were not trying to predict which jobs would disappear. They were trying to identify the irreducible core of human work. They found it, and it is not what most people expect. The surface story about AI-proof jobs goes like this. Learn to code, get technical skills, stay ahead of the automation curve by becoming the person who builds the tools. That story is already out of date. Since ChatGPT launched in late 2022, job postings for occupations involving structured and repetitive tasks, the kind most people assumed were safe because they required some technical skill, decreased by 13%. Meanwhile, employer demand for jobs requiring analytical, creative, or deeply human work grew by 20%. That finding comes from a Harvard Business School working paper by Professor Suraj Srinivasan, published in February 2026, analyzing nearly all U.S. job vacancies from 2019 through March 2025. Technical skills are not the protection people thought they were. Something else is. The MIT researchers looked at a dataset called O*Net, maintained by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, which maps every task performed in every occupation in the United States. They identified a pattern that runs through every occupation where human workers are not just surviving, but growing. They called it EPOCH: empathy, presence, opinion, creativity, hope. 5 categories of human capability that artificial intelligence can process information about, but cannot authentically perform. And the data shows that every new job category added to the O*Net dataset in 2024 has higher levels of EPOCH skills than the jobs that existed before. The economy is not just surviving despite these skills. It is reorganizing around them. In 1969, Citibank installed the first automated teller machine in New York City. The prediction was immediate and obvious. Bank tellers would disappear. The number of bank tellers in the United States did not fall. It rose. By 2010, there were more bank tellers than there had been in 1969. The ATM made it cheaper to open a branch. More branches meant more tellers. But the teller's job changed. The cash counting disappeared. What remained was the part that the machine could not do: explaining financial products, resolving disputes, building relationships with customers who needed more than a transaction. The ATM automated the task. It could not automate the presence. This is the pattern that runs through every major wave of automation in history. The tasks disappear. The roles survive. And the roles that survive are always the ones built on the EPOCH capabilities that machines do not have. MIT did not discover this pattern. They gave it a name and proved it with data. That is different. The MIT Sloan paper, titled The Epoch of AI, was published in March 2025. The framework breaks down into 5 categories: empathy, emotional intelligence, the ability to understand what another person is feeling and to respond in a way that is genuine; presence, the irreplaceable reality of a human being in a room; opinion, judgment, and ethics, the ability to take a position and be accountable for it; creativity, the capacity to generate truly novel ideas, not remix existing ones; hope, vision, and leadership, the human ability to inspire belief in something that does not yet exist. AI can simulate all five. It cannot perform any of them. The jobs with the highest EPOCH scores in the MIT data are not the ones most people would predict. Emergency management directors, clinical and counseling psychologists, childcare providers, public relations specialists, film directors, not software engineers, not data scientists. The most irreplaceable jobs are the most human ones. The Harvard study confirms it. Between 2022 and 2025, demand for jobs requiring analytical and creative work grew 20%. Demand for jobs requiring structured and repetitive tasks fell 13%. A Workday survey found that 82% of organizations are already using artificial intelligence agents, 82%. And the skills they are investing in to complement those agents are not technical skills. Korn Ferry's 2025 Leadership Trends Report named adaptability, authenticity, culture building, and trust as the key drivers of organizational value. None of them can be replicated by AI. The World Economic Forum projects that AI will displace 85 million jobs by 2030, but create 97 million new ones. The net is 12 million new jobs. They require more human presence, not less. Here is what almost nobody has said out loud yet. The economy has spent decades undervaluing exactly the work that AI cannot do. We built an economy that rewarded the work that looked most like what a machine would eventually do. Structured tasks, measurable outputs, scalable processes, and we systematically undervalued the work that required a human being to be present, to care, to judge, to create, to inspire. Now the machines have arrived, and they are doing the work that the economy overvalued. And the work that the economy undervalued is the only work left that machines structurally cannot touch. The jobs with the highest EPOCH scores are not the most prestigious, not the highest paid. A childcare provider has one of the highest EPOCH scores in the MIT dataset. So does a crisis counselor. So does a community organizer. MIT's Roberto Rigobon put it in one sentence. A hard skill, like solving a math problem, is comparatively easy to teach. It is much harder to teach a person empathy, hope, and creativity. The skills that took the least investment to develop are the ones AI replaced first. The skills that took the most investment to develop are the ones AI cannot replace at all. The last job AI will ever replace is the most human one, which means the future of work looks less like a technology company and more like what it means to be a person. AI did not reveal which jobs were replaceable. It revealed which ones always should have mattered most. The signal is not in which degrees people are pursuing. It is in how the most forward-thinking organizations are restructuring what they value. Design has overtaken technical expertise as the most in-demand skill in AI-related job postings in 2025. Communication, collaboration, and leadership rank in the top 10. These are not consolation prizes for people who cannot code. They are the skills that make the difference between an organization that uses AI well and one that is overwhelmed by it. The people who are positioning correctly are not running from AI. They are investing in the capabilities that make them irreplaceable alongside it. A therapist who understands AI-assisted diagnosis is more valuable than either a therapist who ignores it or an AI system without a therapist. A film director who uses AI tools to visualize and iterate faster is more creative, not less human. A crisis manager who can process AI-generated data while holding a room together under pressure is operating at a level no system can reach. The MIT data is clear. New tasks emerging in the economy since 2024 are more human-intensive than the tasks that existed before. The economy is not moving away from human work. It is moving toward a more specific kind of human work. The signal is in knowing which kind. If you want to keep seeing the next layer before it becomes obvious to everyone else, this is where that happens. Every week, before the mainstream catches up, everyone was asking which jobs AI would replace. The MIT researchers asked what AI could not replace, and the answer they found is not a list of job titles. It is a description of what makes us human: empathy, presence, opinion, creativity, hope. AI can approximate all of these. It cannot perform any of them. The ATM did not replace the bank teller. It replaced the part of the bank teller's job that should not have defined the bank teller in the first place. The same thing is happening now, at scale, across the entire economy. The jobs that disappear are the ones built on tasks. The jobs that survive are the ones built on people. The last job AI will ever replace is the one that requires a human being to be fully present, fully accountable, and fully alive to what another person needs. That job has always been the most important one. We just could not see it clearly until now. The next layer was always there. Now you can see it.